What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Magnum West here, and today we're kind of going to be doing a little bit of a different video, as I'm going to do the first part here, kind of physically going over some of the things I want to talk about, and then the second one we'll go ahead and turn over to the computer. But as you can tell by the title of the video, today we're going to be talking about third-party action figures and kind of some of the pros and cons, and then also just kind of where I believe they fit in the action figure space. But without further ado, let's jump into it. And first off, real quick, I'd just like to thank all you guys for watching my videos. That recent SH Figure Arts Lowest Born Super Saiyan or Lowest Born Saiyan video I did really good. And I've just been getting a lot of support and a lot of comments and a lot of good feedback from you guys. So thank you very much for watching the videos. And as always, a like, share, subscribe, and comment are always appreciated. So if you guys can do me that favor, like I said, that's much appreciated. But let's jump into it. And why do I have these two figures, specifically? Well, I believe they're pretty on par, right? They're both 3.0 tech. They're Super Saiyan characters, and they have pretty similar, physiques. Obviously, the legendary Super Saiyan is, I would say, probably like a good 20-30% bulkier, but for the most part, he has the advantage of being completely naked, or not naked, shirtless. Um, but some of the things I'd like to go over first is the articulation, right? And one of the reasons I wanted to make this video is just because I think third parties and bootlegs are often kind of misconstrued and misunderstood. A third party, in my opinion, is something like this. This Trunks has never been made by another company, and SH Figure Arts didn't. There's no other company that has ever made this figure specifically with the engineering that it has, right? It's similar engineering, but obviously it needs to be different due to copyright and just forgot what it's called. I forgot the name, but they have to be different, right? So it's different, and then also it's better in some of the cases, I would say. And then, like I said, I'm using them because they're pretty similar. But we'll go over the first thing, which is probably the most important, where I think this figure shines a little bit brighter than this Super Saiyan Goku. Um, let's just go ahead and start off with the head. So they're pretty comparable, but I will say this, that in order to get the articulation that I'm getting with the Goku, I did have to mod the neck to come up a little bit more. And kind of that's one of the things that I would like to highlight, right? That you have to keep in mind that both of these figures, I should have probably said it first off, but before I continue, the most important thing to realize is that Bandai, it owns SH Figure Arts, and Bandai makes a lot more money than Townsend Art Toys does. I mean, you're talking about, this is a multi-million-dollar company, and Townsend Art Toys is like probably like a small group of people that made this Trunks possible, right? Obviously, they definitely like had inspiration and probably did mimic some of the things that SH Figure Arts does, but you got to keep that in mind that Bandai and SH Figure Arts have probably multiple, if not hundreds of thousands, at least multiple tens of thousands of dollars that they allocate to creating these figures. Whereas this is something that, like I said, probably a small team of individuals just created in their freaking dorm room or whatever. Um, and another thing is, I would love to know if you guys know where Townsend Art Toys' factory is like directly manufactured out of, where these figures are made at. I would love to know that. I don't know if it's China, or I know Philippines and like some of the other Asian countries also partake in this, so it could be one of those other ones. But one of the first ones where we start getting better articulation from this figure is in the shoulders. And I hope this thing's focusing. Um, let's go ahead and do it. So it's not by a lot, right? But it is there. As you can see, this Trunks is getting about, I would say, like a good 10 to 15% better on that shoulder going up, right? Another one. that the Trunks takes. And I know they're not the same design, but this is the thing I'm saying, right? SH Figure Arts has been around since like 2012, if I'm not mistaken. And they've had a lot of time to be able to come up, and a lot of money to be able to come up with a way to, fix these shortfalls. And this isn't something that's unique to this legendary Super Saiyan Goku. It's pretty apparent in most of their releases that their app crunch is pretty weak. But as you can see, that Trunks is getting, again, like another, I would say this is a little bit more. This is probably closer to 20-30% deeper than this Goku. And again, this is and another thing, and I'll get, actually, you know what? I'll save that. Let's focus on this first. So this guy is doing a complete, mine's a little bit loose, whatever. But let's see. Can he naturally get, yeah, he can. I was just doing it weird. Complete splits. I mean, you could pose him like that. Whereas this Goku, again, this is one of those things where, like, I feel like, maybe if they would have let this Goku marinate a little bit better, he might have came out way better. But I love this figure. I'm not bashing on it at all. But again, that's like close, but as you can see, one is completely Jean-Claude Van Damme and the other one is almost there. It's like 5%, but it's still there. We have to call it. And then probably the most impressive thing about this Tonson Art Toys Trunks, and I said it in my last bit, but I had to re-record this part. But just the amount of times that, like, I almost forget that I have this figure. And, I do that with a lot of my figures, but every time I pick it back up and I pose it around, it's like I fall in love with it all over again. It's just such an amazing piece and amazing dollar value that you get. And for some reason, I don't know why, it could just be mine, but like my Goku has like the hardest time standing straight up. Like I don't know if it's like the way they made the feet or what it is. Like maybe I'm just not posing it right, but like look at that. He's pretty straight up forward, like, and he's just rocking. Like I don't, what the fuck? Excuse my language, but whatever. And then this one, like, let's see. There you go. Okay, whatever. But it is the ankles. So look at this Trunks. They're pretty comparable in this one, but again, the Tonson Art Toys Trunks just beats it out a little bit more. Let's see how deep this one can get. Okay, okay, so they're pretty on par. If anything, I think the Goku might be a little bit better. Can't really tell this one. Let's see. Oh, never mind. I wasn't doing it all the way. There you go. Make sure we're being fair about it. Okay, so they're pretty much the same on the ankle tilt. And then I would say, I think this is where, if I remember correctly, because I was like going over this earlier. So you can see the foot is almost flat, almost parallel to the deck. And then let's go ahead and look at Goku. So let's see. Comparison between the two. Yep. It's just it's kind of crazy, right? And I like, this isn't to bash on the Goku. This is probably my favorite SH Figure Arts figure. I love this figure, but I'm just saying that it's crazy that a third party company that some people are never gonna get to enjoy, it is just producing figures at this level, right? And again, we're gonna go more over that in the computer section. That way, I can show you guys some more examples besides these two figures. But there you go. But I just wanted to show you guys these two to kind of show you a little bit of like a similar character and how a third party stands against something like the SH Figure Arts. And for those of you guys who are kind of on the fence, for the most part, I would say just be careful. Just do research on the brand. But for the most part, Tonson Art Toys, Demoniacal Fit, and Kong Studios, now known as Mythos Anime, I'm sure it's only a couple months before they switch it again, but those are pretty reputable and trustworthy third party companies that I would strongly advocate for. But without further ado, let's jump to the computer.
Okay, so now, obviously, I'm gonna be using AR collectors just to show off some of these pictures. And in case you watch this video, brother, just let me know if this is an issue, and we can talk about it. But I'm gonna go ahead and show some of the ones that I'm talking about. And I wanted to start off with the heads from the new heads from DCG, which is these that you're seeing on screen right now. Go check out his page. Amazing, photography. But this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about, where this is where third party really shines, is in these third party heads. I think that with the Tonson Art Toys Kid Buu, which if not a lot of you kept up with that figure, it was a little bit problematic in the sense that it had a lot of QC issues, and the QC issues were really bad. I mean, like, we're not talking about a little bit of a paint missing from the figure or anything like that. I mean, we're talking about straight up figure dismantling in your hands. And my older brother did get it, and he confirmed that it did have those issues. So, I mean, if you got a good copy, good on you, but that's not something we should ignore. So I definitely think that sometimes getting a third party action figure, like a full, head to toe action figure, is a problem. But then we get things like this, right? This is from Black Hole Toys, I believe, and this is a bootleg. I would consider this a bootleg, and then I would consider this a third party because this is something that has never been done before. And then this is obviously just a recolor, pretty much. Not the head sculpt, but the body is a re. As far as I'm aware, there's nothing new on it. It's just a repaint of the um, Warrior Awakening Goku, the like 2.0, one of the first 2.0 figures from Tamashi. And I mean, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's really nice. I really like the head sculpts. Um, it's a really good looking one. I think it's based off like one of the manga colors, but it's really nice, man. And then it's funny because like most of his page is third party. This is the BoJack Trunks I was just talking about, and he comes with the sword as well. And then these are from, I think, Tonson Art Toys as well. So these head sculpts are amazing. Again, it's just there's so many things that third party offers. These also, I believe, these are from TK DIY. I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, let me know. And then this is the new Black Hole Toys Battle Damage Vegeta, which they're giving you two. They give you a Battle Damage one with its own set of, its own design, and then they give you a clean one also. And I'm pretty sure they're like $60 for both. So it's like it's pretty insane what you're able to get with these third party accessories and third party action figures and stuff. Same thing with the shirt on this Goku. I forgot the brand. I want to say it's Air Custom, Air Studios or something like that is the one that made these shirts. But again, another thing that Tamashi didn't provide, which is something that I thought that Toyotaro Goku should have came with how expensive that figure was. I know it came with like the little encyclopedia, but I think that's pretty dumb. They should have just gave him like a shirt accessory or something, and called it a day that way. But kind of moving on. Where to get these? For the most part, nowadays, I get them through AliExpress. If I do end up getting them, I haven't gotten any third-party heads in a long time. Be completely honest, it's just there's really not any specific look that they've made that I'm like, I absolutely have to have that. And then as you can see, also I'm pretty sure this is because of the tariffs, but I mean, you're talking about $40 for a head. You know what I mean? Like I could get a 2.0 figure for that, and then that's also the value of the new Goku coming out. Like I personally don't think it's worth it. I think they're beautiful and they're amazing, and you're probably not gonna need to get another head, another base Goku head. As you can see, it comes with like all the joints that you would need: the 2.0, 3.0, and then the Kong. Um, but it's just not. It's really not worth it for me personally. but they're definitely there if you can if you think that that's worth it. Now, kind of moving on to a different side of it, and this is where I think I'm probably gonna have people disagree with me or possibly even angry. Is they're just straight up beating out Tamashi in regards to if these figures are really good, right? I would have to swallow my own words or eat my own words if these suck. But at this current moment in time, I think that a lot of these studios are either stems of some of the more known third party studios, or they're using some of the technology or something like that. I don't think these are like completely just off the wall, never seen before studios. I think they're like, using different names for copyright reasons or whatever. But let's take a look at this cell. And I just want you to get an image because this is exactly what it comes with. It comes with all of this, and we're going to flip over here. It's basically, it comes with all of that stuff so that you can get a second look. And this is the deluxe version of the figure, keep in mind. So, it's basically going to come with all of these head options. And if we go over, it has more than just those two. It has one that's broken with the two wings after, Gohan blasts him and he almost dies. Or I think it's Vegeta, I forgot. But he takes battle damage pretty much and he's almost dead, and this is how he looks. So you're getting that entire other look, which is almost an entire different figure. You're getting a different little tail of his. You're getting the crossed arms. You're getting one, two, three, four, five. So basically six if that's not including his, five if it is including the fists, and then you're getting eight different expressions. So basically four head sculpts because you can probably put these faces on them all together. It four head sculpts, pretty much entire different look for the figure, cross arms, different wings, all these hands for $98. Wait, plus shipping, let's call it 115. Meanwhile, on the other hand, this just came out like at the end of last year. It feels like it was just a couple days ago, but it's already been like almost 6 months since this figure came out. And I want to say, like, this is a pretty beautiful figure, right? But it definitely does not come without its issues. And I can't really compare the quality of the actual figure because this one's already out and this one's just a 3D render. I'm pretty sure it's gonna look better once the prototypes start coming out, but I could be wrong. So we're just gonna go with the dollar value and what it comes with and what it is, right? So this figure pretty much came with if let me take a pause real quick here. Okay, so continuing here, I was able to find this picture of the actual tray of what it comes with, and it does come with the two saucers in the back. So he comes with what is that? Four pairs, five pairs of hands. Yeah, five pairs of hands. He comes with the two saucers, three heads, so four heads in total, the tail, and then the feet. One of the things that I think bothers me about this is they're pretty comparable, right? But the fact that this figure could have easily been a 65 or $70 price tag. And why do I say that? I'm going to take another pause here real quick. Okay, I finally found the image that I was looking for. Now, if we compare the two, it's pretty close, right? So this figure, oh, that, and I just realized that's not an extra tail. That's just supposed to be on the figure. So I'm not going to count that as an extra accessory because it's not. It's really just, what it is. It was supposed to be on the figure. Um, so basically, the one thing that this figure has on this Goku, and we're talking about what it comes with. This one has six sets of hands, the Kamehameha wave effect, the two hair pieces right here, so the interchangeable hair piece, the actual hair piece, like the hair sculpt, and then the four faces that he comes with. The one thing that this figure has on top of that one is really the feet and one extra head, and that's it. So this figure was $65. I want to say it was 55, but I could be wrong, so I'm just gonna go with 65. This figure was $65. This one was 85. This one was a Premium Bandai exclusive. So if you wanted to get it anywhere besides Premium Bandai, you couldn't. Premium Bandai was the only way you could get it or pay $140, which was what it was going for on Big Bad Toy Store. This one, on the other hand, was a general release. So I'm pretty sure it probably went on Amazon on sale for $60, $50. You could probably get it on Amazon for $65 even because they have free shipping. This figure was just marked up $20 just to be marked up $20. Really, for there's really no other reason why. I do not think that an extra head sculpt and the feet are really worth another $20. I mean, I don't think people even use these, so it's one of those maximum Spider-Man cases, right? Where they're just giving you shit that you don't even want or need. But whatever. Whereas this self figure is pretty much giving you something that I think everyone would want. And the reason I'm comparing these two is because it comes with the battle damage at pretty much the same price point. What would it have costed them to give you, if they're going to mark it up to $85, 102, and I have the receipts, I literally have the receipt of it. It's right here. $102 with 2 cents shipped to me. That's the full price that I paid. So for $15 more, you're getting something that you're gonna use everything. Not only does this one come with the four faces or the four heads as well, but it also comes with 8 faces. So that's basically 8 heads if you really want to think about it like that. With the interchangeable faces and the heads, it comes with 8 heads essentially. And again, pretty much the same hands, except it comes with stuff that you're actually going to use at making it more worth it in my opinion. But this is kind of, I feel like this video has gone on long enough. I don't want to keep harping on. And again, this wasn't to really shit on the official license. And I know some people are going to be like, oh well, it's because Tamashi has to pay a license. I don't think so. I think Bandai already has the license, so it's not like they have to get it out of every single figure. I mean, at least that's what I think, right? I could be wrong. I'm not an action figure producer, so I'll say that it could be that. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that third party has its place in the action figure community, or do you think it's something that's just kind of a trend right now and is eventually gonna die out? In my opinion, I think with what we're seeing, the growing market of third parties and how they're constantly making it more and more worth it, it's just I think that people should start kind of at least keeping their eye on them closer because in a lot of these scenarios you're paying these 85 to $100 prices for a figure that's like comes with like 20% less than what you could get for $65 from a third party. And I don't work for any of these guys. I'm just doing this off my own free will. I don't get any money for this. This is just my opinions, my thoughts, and I would love to hear yours. I didn't even go over the BoJack trunks, but again, I don't want to push it too long. But again, as usual, guys, if you could leave me a like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment letting me know what are some of the third-party action figures you're thinking about picking up, how you feel about third parties and things of that nature. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good day. Peace.